For our first story, we have: Am I the ass for refusing to pay for my friend's meal after she invited me out for dinner? So, my friend, 29 female, and I, 28 male, went out for dinner the other night. She invited me out to this nice place, which was cool because we hadn't hung out in a while, and I was really looking forward to catching up. When we got there, she ordered way more food and drinks than I did. I kept it light since I'm trying to save money, so I only ordered a main course and water. At the end of the meal, the waiter brought the check, and my friend looked at me and asked if I'd cover this one. I was kind of thrown off, especially since she invited me out. I told her that I wasn't planning on paying for both of us and reminded her that she was the one who suggested dinner. She got really upset and said she thought it was obvious she meant I should pay because I make more money than her. I do, but it's not by a huge margin, and I'm also trying to budget right now. She ended up paying for her share but called me stingy and said I was being unfair. Am I the ass for refusing to pay for her meal when she was the one who invited me out? That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, "Not the asshole. That's so embarrassing. How does one reach that level of entitlement?" Our second commenter says, "Not the asshole. If that was her intent, then that should be made absolutely clear and not implied." Our third commenter says, "Not the asshole. I have friends who I gladly pay for, knowing that they'll pay next time and we see each other a lot. Just this entitlement itself, no go, red flag, and whatever other word in that lane you can think of." For our second story, we have: Am I the ass for not supporting my wife's decision to punish our son and letting him go to a party that will be tonight? This is a throwaway, but this involves some absolute high school drama nonsense that someone my age should have to deal with, but maybe I am trippin' and missing something. So, here I am. I, 45 male, share a daughter, 17 female, and son, 15 male, with my wife, 41 female. My wife's best friend, 40 female, has two daughters, 18 female and 15 female. My wife's best friend moved to our town about 6 years. My wife and her best friend have been not so subtly pulling for the two 15-year-olds to end up together. I find this weird and low-key creepy. About 2 years ago, wife's BF's youngest daughter appeared to have developed a crush on our son. My son talked to me about it and he had zero interest. So, we discussed how to tactfully but firmly let her down. She has approached him again a number of times over the last couple of years and he has reaffirmed his lack of interest. This past summer, my wife's BF's oldest daughter turned 18. Her parents went all out for her birthday. It was a whole weekend of festivities and events. One of the events was a couple's dinner for the oldest daughter and all her friends in couples. The younger daughter of wife's BF wanted to go to the dinner but did not have anyone to go with. She asked my son, and he agreed to go, but only as friends and just this one time. So, they went together. After the dinner, the couples all watched 10 Things I Hate About You together. It was my son's first time seeing it and he commented that he thought the Heath Ledger singing scene was cool. This is important later. My business partner, 44 male, every year, for the last 5 years, throws a huge Halloween party. All our employees are invited along with close friends and family. The party requires a costume. And at this party, there are prizes for best individual costume, group costume, and couples costume. My wife's BF and her family are obviously invited every year. This year, the Halloween party is tonight, October 26th. So, let me get to the reason I am here. About a month ago, my son is at school, and comes towards him as my wife's BF's younger daughter with a whole song and dance routine. She ends it by asking him to be her date for the Halloween party. My son was so frustrated and reiterated, for everyone to hear, that he is not interested in her like that at all. Of course, it being high school, some kids laughed and she ran off crying. She has been bullied pretty badly because of it. My wife's BF is livid and thinks our son owes her daughter an apology. My wife agrees and thinks, at a minimum, he needs to defend her against the bullying. My son has said that for 2 years he has told her he is not interested and reiterated it over and over. At this point, he thinks it's kind of harassing to him and it is not his role to defend her harassment of him. I agree with my son. My wife and I have had a number of disagreements about it since it happened. Well, things have intensified in the last couple of weeks or so because another girl, who wife's BF's daughter apparently does not like, asked our son to be her date for the party and he agreed. They're doing a pretty dope couple's costume. This has really pissed off my wife because she thinks he should, at least, not go to the party with another girl out of respect. I think that is ridiculous. I plan on driving them to the party with me. My wife now does not want to go to the party and is saying I am an asshole and raising our son to be one. So, am I the ass? That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, not the asshole. Tell your wife consent goes both ways. What if it had been a boy harassing her BF's daughter for 2 years? Would she still push for the daughter to give that boy a chance, or to defend that boy, or force her not to go to a party with another boy, out of respect? She and the BF are perpetuating some pretty damaging behaviors in the BF's daughter. Our second commenter says, not the asshole, and your wife is being utterly ridiculous. She's basically telling your son that he can date her best friend's daughter or no one. The girl was bullied because of her own actions, not anything your son did. Keep sticking up for your son. I have a feeling he's going to need your support. Our third commenter says, ask your wife to please not pimp your son out to her bestie's daughter. For our last story, we have update. Am I the asshole for telling my cheating wife a day before our daughter's graduation that I would be divorcing her? Original post, link. My daughter called me last night and told me she came across the post I had posted, and after reading my comments, she asked how I could be so cruel to her mom. She then told me she was going to temporarily go low contact with me. I did tell her I know she's going through a lot and I'll always be there for her, but I'll respect her decision to go low contact. So that's not really the best news, but life does move on. That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, man, I just don't understand how this dumpster fire keeps burning. Our second commenter says, at least you're giving her a graduation gift she'll never forget. The art of dodging awkward family dinners. Our third commenter says, this is Exhibit A in how not to handle this situation. You successfully made your cheating wife the victim and gave your daughter every reason to hate you. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.